Hi, it's Rivki with Lev Haolam, and I am in Tekoa today, which is a beautiful village. It's just about 15-20 minutes southeast of Jerusalem, and we are visiting the JP Weill Art Studio today. It's absolutely magical. So I want you to come with me on the visit. So let's go. This is really a very cool experience. I am in a working art studio. You can see what I'm seeing. The team are having a quick lunch. They made a potluck together, and standing in the studio, you can see all of the tools that they use to do their creation. It's dynamic. It's real people creating real art right here in Israel. I mean, if you are somebody who wants to touch Israel in a way, have sort of an authentic piece of Israel in your home or in your office, this is the way to do it, because the artwork that comes out of the studio is created by artists who are living here in Israel in the tradition, of course, of Jean-Pierre Weill. And what you get is real Israel in your home. It's incredible. I would love it if you could tell us a little bit about how the studio was established.
So both of our parents are artists, and they met in the School of Visual Arts in New York. And they started a family, number 2, and Safira is number 5, and all of us were born. And my father was in school for psychology, and they decided that they wanted to see if they could find a way to support their family through art. And so my father went into a studio, and within just a couple of months, he came up with this idea of painting on multiple levels of glass, and started going to craft shows and art shows, and it was really quite immediately successful. And so we grew up with this very unique artwork of 3D painting on glass. And about 15 years ago, it was almost 15 years ago, I moved to Israel. I got married, and my father was thinking he wasn't sure what to do with the studio at that point. He'd been in it for a very long time, and we decided to start moving it to Israel. When my daughter was born, then my parents made Aliyah, and Safira, also right around that time, moved to Israel, and the studio reopened here in Israel and was established in the format of a family studio. So our parents live here in Tekoa. Safira lives nearby, and my father really passed the torch over to us, and it's really been such a blessing. It's like really beyond his wildest dreams. Like, this is like such an American dream studio, and now it's in Israel, and it's taken on, a multi-generational, it's become a multi-generational studio.
Growing up in a family of artists, did you feel like this was a path that you had to take, or did it unfold naturally for you?
It actually unfolded naturally and unexpectedly. When we were kids, both my parents had studios. They spent most of their time making art, and so it was all around us and kind of embedded in us. But it was never expected at all that we would go in this direction. So it's kind of shocking to everybody.
Love it. And so sisters working together, how is that?
You want to take
Yeah, it's great, actually. It has enriched our relationship tremendously. It was actually kind of as business partners that we shifted out of the dynamic of like older sister, younger sister into more of like friends and partners and working together. And as I'm sure you can imagine, things come up, and then because we're both so invested in working well together, then we work through it, and it's brought a lot of really good things into our relationship.
I wanted to share with you a little bit of the behind the scenes at Lev Haolam. I hear from people when they receive the surprise box and they say, Rivki, how on earth do you create these boxes? How do you decide what goes into every single box? And you know what? It's a labor of love. It's something that is our passion. It's our lifeblood. We travel Israel from north to south and everywhere in between. We look for businesses that embody the spirit of Israel, embody the spirit of the Holy Land. Places like JP Weill, which is a family-owned business, and each piece of art is actually made by hand, is assembled by hand. And so when we find people like Davida and Safira, who are running their parents' studio now, it's a perfect match for us because they put, a lot of love, a lot of care into every single piece of art that they make. And their team are just absolutely lovely. These guys live in and around the area, and they also bring their passion for Israel to their work. And that's what makes it such a perfect match for a Lev Haolam surprise box, because when you open it and you discover a piece of JP Weill art, you really are discovering a piece of Israel that you can have in your home or your office, and it becomes something more than the sum of its parts. It has all of the energy, all of the love, all of the commitment, all of our feeling of being blessed to be in Israel comes to you. So it's not just a painting, although the painting that it is amazing. It's the spirit of Israel. Our members oftentimes like to travel to Israel, so if they should find themselves in Israel, is this some place that they could visit?
Absolutely. We love having studio visitors. We're only 15-minute drive from Jerusalem. Not so many people come out here, and so we do roll out the red carpet when we have visitors and make sure to stop, give them a tour of the studio, show them kind of like behind the scenes, how things go here.
In fact, I noticed at the door coming in that you have a note that invites the local soldiers that they can come in and have a coffee, relax in your seating area. How did that come about?
The local base for the soldiers in this area is quite close to us, and we just saw this as an opportunity to provide them with a homey place to sit, to have coffee, to have cool water, to just come and see beautiful work. And it's meaningful for us to provide that for them.
Let's talk a little bit about Israel and its influence on you. How does being in Israel influence your design choices and the motifs that you use in the art?
One way it immediately influences is through the color palette. You'll find that our work has a lot of blues and browns and golds, and I think that has a lot to do with the light here in this area. And also the work itself, we choose behind every work there's a story, and the stories that come up for us are the stories that are around us. So we have a lot of paintings that are related to specific locations right here in the area.
So who comes up with these? Sounds like
it's actually collaborative.
Okay.
Also, each painting has a story, but often it has layers of stories. So the process of coming up with it is collaborative and changing as we kind of we find it and we add all these different details into it. And so it's not just like one idea, but layers.
Feels a lot like Israel just in that, because I feel like we're a country of layers. We have the, biblical layer, the time of the temple layer, the modern layer, so many different facets to life here. That's beautiful. If you were to say anything to a Lev Haolam member who's receiving a surprise box from Israel, what would you say to them?
I'd like to tell them that I am really grateful for them bringing a piece of our family studio into their home, because I think that the space that we live in says a lot about who we are and what our dreams are and where we're connected, and so that is a very meaningful thing.
So if you've ever wondered when you look at a JP Weill piece and thought to yourself, how on earth do they make that happen? How do they create this 3D? I'm very excited to bring you with me. I'm in the studio, and Davida is actually going to show us how they construct or put together or build, I don't even know what the right language is, but how they do the magic that they do in the studio to create these amazing dynamic artworks. So follow me.
So at the final stage is the assembly, and that's after we've painted everything up and double-checked it, and the glass has been really intensively cleaned. We use air compressors to make sure there's no dust. And then we start fitting it into the frame. And the frame, it's custom designed. We build it to fit this unique depth of our artwork. And with our gallery edition works, we also are hand painting the wooden slats that hold the space between the glass. Okay. And these slats are actually painted up in order to blend really seamlessly with the background, so that you're really getting a 3D sense of the painting and the scene.
So these really are part of the artwork.
100%.
They continue the story into the frame.
Yes.
Wow.
Totally. Great. So Marianne's helping us out here. And you can see she's using the cloth so she doesn't get any fingerprints on it.
Have you ever lost a piece of art on the floor?
Of course.
Oh, no.
We have.
Oh, no.
And this glass is tempered glass. So if it breaks, it shatters. It makes it that it's very strong. It's unlikely to break, but actually the floor is concrete. So it cannot touch the floor even a little bit. So here we have the 2 layers of glass, and you'll see the whole painting is designed around the perspective of this depth.
And I see, the green over here leading into the plants and the flowers, a little bit more of the sky. And then now we get into the beautiful golden Jerusalem stone that's part of the Western Wall, the Kotel. It's incredible.
The size of the painting are actually really expanding the scene in order to create an experience that's encompassing us inside the frame. And you can see here we have the background.
Whoa.
And it's really a piece of art in its own right.
I was going to say, that's beautiful. I would put that on my wall.
So the morning starts with feeding them. And you'll see they really enjoy this. So here they have feed. We've got some really nice roosters. Yeah? Oops. I think I got some on your lens.
Yeah.
Hello.
go. הוא ממש לא מפחד.
How many do you have?
There's 2 roosters and 6 hens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you have 2 roosters and 6 hens?
Just that's what
your
hatched.
art studio.
It's just what oh, why do we have it?
Yeah.
Because they eat our garbage.
Yeah.
And they give us fresh eggs.
Oh my gosh.
And it's really fun. So these are all fresh, like from the last,
wow,
15 hours.
Oh my gosh.
When it's warm outside, then they lay more.
How do they get up here? That's a really silly question. City girl question. How do they get in
hens
here?
just really these are roosting pens, and they just like to lay eggs in a place that's like cozy. So if you have a coop, anything that you build that's like small and cozy, then they'll lay their eggs there.
And they fly up here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they like to sleep up high. So a lot of them, they mostly sleep up on this, or inside the...
I didn't even know the chickens flew.
Yes, they do.
I've only ever seen them on the ground.
They fly.
This is amazing.
Yeah. So often during the day, we actually open the door because there's all this nice green right now.
So they'll walk out and then come back in?
We kind of like herd them in a little bit, but they know that this is their home. So they're pretty happy chickens.
That's incredible. And then the eggs, the team take home the eggs.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sometimes we have a lot in the summertime. I remember there was that Pesach where there was a shortage of eggs.
Yes, like
so
2 years ago.
We have a shortage of eggs.
Oh my gosh, this is
nice.
Magnificent. This is something I did not expect to see at JP Weill Studio.
So
amazing.
Yeah.
Hi chickens, bye.
They have a little bit
They're
of a
actually
yard.
quite beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So Davida, we're about 200 feet from your studio. I mean, you have your coffee. We just stepped right outside to enjoy this beautiful day. And we came to the fence and I see quite a secure fence with barbed wire and then a second layer of barbed wire. So immediately it makes me understand that security can be an issue for you here. Is that true?
Yes. I mean, we are in a pretty vulnerable spot. Thank God our security has been, I can feel how much it's been beefed up since October 7th. Actually, the first week after the war broke out, I took my kids and went to Jerusalem because I wasn't sure what was happening. And then I came back when I saw that they really were, they'd brought in more soldiers. And you can see we are surrounded by Arab villages. Like before the war, I would have said that our prayers were to be able to go into the village next door and buy olive oil or, hummus and have coffee. And since October 7th, my relationship with all of these people has really shifted. I think that their situation is unfortunate, but you can see I'm wearing the badge for the hostages. It's like I have no compassion to spare. It's like we just need our people back. That is where I'm at. And as you can see, we do have barbed wire. I take my kids out for walks. We don't go past the security fence as we used to do. And they know, not to touch the fence because it'll set off an alarm. And we also live in a really beautiful place. If you turn away, I mean, the view is stunning and it's a beautiful day. And if you turn this way, then you can see Tekoa, which is a lovely place with beautiful people. And this is where we're building our life.
Ever since I made my aliyah and came and lived in Israel, every day, wherever I go, I have it in my mind that I'm walking where the Jewish patriarchs and matriarchs, our ancestors, walked. And as I was driving up to visit you today, I was coming into Tekoa, and I thought about Amos, the prophet Amos, and this is the area that he was from. And you look out here and you just really feel so connected to Jewish history. You feel so connected to the Torah, to the Bible. And there's just such a feeling that we're in our place, like we're in our home. And at the same time, when I see, the security fences like this, it's a shocking reality that we can't get away from. It's a Jewish homeland, and yet at the same time, the very real dangers that affect all of us who live here. And in particular, those of you who are living in more remote, more vulnerable places. And I know that's hard.
Yeah, I mean, we have such a beautiful home here. I'm not living in the hardship of it. It is jarring to see the security fence, to see the barbed wire. It's not, it both lends to a sense of security, but is also a reminder of the fact that the larger reality is a precarious one. And I'm aware that I'm raising my kids with that, but it does feel like this is our home, and I don't know what the long-term solution is, but I do know that this is where we belong, and God willing, things will shift in a positive and beautiful direction.
I think so too. And when you see a situation like this, and I think always about our Lev Haolam community who love Israel so much, and they love you, and they love me, and they want to see us flourish, they want to see us succeed. And having a business to me is sort of the same as sowing the ground. You're creating something for future generations. When you walk outside, what is the feeling that you have knowing that you have a business here in Israel?
I am really fortunate to work and live, and my kids' school is like right next door. It's all in one place. And despite what you see, it's only a 15-minute drive to Jerusalem, and the road it's well secured. It feels quite safe, and I want to invite people to come visit us.
Yes, me too.
Because we love having studio visitors. It brings a lot of fresh energy into our space. You get to see behind the scenes what's happening. You get to feel the energy in our studio, which I think is really quite unique.
This is truly the most stunning location. I love it. I wonder, has the boycott movement affected your business in any way?
It's affected us in some surprising ways, actually. We have got a lot of very negative comments on our social media, and whenever that comes up, we delete it. It's also brought its blessings, actually, because the way that social media algorithms work is the more traffic you have, the more exposure it gives you. And it's really given a lot of people who might not otherwise have seen our work the opportunity to see it and enjoy it and like us and follow us. And it is this weird kind of blessing in disguise, because those comments are so off-putting. We do get a lot of trolling, but we have yet to see negative comments from Iran. The people of Iran who have commented on our social media have all been super supportive, and it really has been heartwarming to see how people who understand what Israel is up against, they are with us. And the people who are, behind BDS, it's really a very ignorant position, and it's so unfortunate that so many people are falling for that kind of misinformation. But it is nice. It is heartwarming to know that when people are dealing with real terrorist organizations, they understand that there is no other option than to fight.
Absolutely. That was amazing. I'm so glad that you were able to join me. And I do want to let you know, when you are visiting Israel, because I know one day you're going to come here and put your 2 feet on this beautiful land of ours. But when you do come to visit, you're invited to visit Davida, Safira, their team at the studio, and see it all live and in person. So I hope that you'll be able to do that. Thanks, guys.